Welcome to Katie Calls BS, the podcast where we cut through the noise in course creation, digital products, and business strategy. I'm Katie Miller, bringing you blunt advice, real action steps, and the occasional F-bomb because building a business is hard and the BS isn't helping. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Katie Calls BS. Today, we're going to talk about the add more trap. I feel like in the online business space, we're told to just keep adding things to our business and not really to edit things. The online business space rewards adding more. It teaches us to add things like adding a course, adding a membership, adding a mastermind, add a low ticket offer, add another product. But here's the question almost no one asks. What should be removed? What are we supposed to edit out of our businesses? Especially when digital products are part of the picture. Mature businesses don't just grow by adding, they grow by editing. Most entrepreneurs build their businesses kind of like a storage closet. We get established, maybe we come up with our signature 3 offers, then we start adding things. We have a client who asks for something more, or we have something a coach suggests. We end up coming up with this suite of offers that we can't keep straight. Another product idea comes along, then a workshop, then a small digital product thing, then maybe a group program, then a course, and suddenly there are like 4, 5, or 6 different things happening at once. We have different price points, different promises, different marketing messages, and we wonder why sales feel inconsistent, why delivery feels heavy, why everything feels harder than it should. It's not really a marketing problem, and it's not really a visibility problem. Sometimes it's just an editing problem. Here's the thing about the add more message. It is everywhere. It doesn't really sound like bad advice. It sounds like growth. It sounds like how you're supposed to build a business, especially if you are following someone else's advice who you respect. You think that a client wants something, so you should add it. You see a competitor offering something, so you wonder if you should too. Someone in a mastermind says a thing is the next big thing, so now it's on your to-do list to add. None of those individual responses are wrong, but when the default answer to every new opportunity is just add it, that's where the trap is. Because adding takes time, energy, and focus. In a service-based business, those aren't unlimited. When you keep adding, the thing that gets squeezed out is the foundation of your business. What's actually working is the foundation of your business, the reason you started. But when the wheels come off, and they will come off, the instinct is to go back to your client work, back to those familiar offers, back to what feels safe, which means everything that you added, all those extras that you added into your business, either get abandoned halfway through or they kind of limp along without ever reaching their potential. We leave it to survive on our website and hope for the best, and then we kind of forget about them. But the internet rewards adding things. It almost never rewards editing, except for Reels. Nobody is asking, does this offer still make sense in your business? Does this product conflict with something else you sell? Does your audience actually understand the difference between everything you offer? Do you understand the difference between everything you offer? Or are you slowly building a menu nobody can navigate? There's a reason that we keep adding instead of editing. It has nothing to do with laziness or a lack of strategy. Adding feels productive. It feels like we're building a business. We're launching, we're creating, we're being productive. Editing feels very different. It has a different energy. It means that we're closing something. We're simplifying something. We're admitting that something we spent real time on no longer fits. That's harder. It's a lot harder to deal with. We've all been in that phase of business when we close down an offer that we spent a lot of time building. There's also sunk cost bias at work. You spent months building that course or that membership or that offer. We spent time creating that workshop, that presentation. You spent energy on a launch. You spent money on a launch. So removing it feels like you're losing something, even when keeping it is what's costing you. It's costing you clarity. It's costing you focus. It's costing you revenue. There's another layer here too, though, specific to service-based businesses. When you're delivering work for clients all day, the business side, the offer ecosystem, the strategy, the structure tends to get built reactively. We add things in response to demand. It's not by design. We build it because somebody asked for it, or we build it because we had to. It had nothing to do with our intention to build it, which means after a few years, a lot of us as business owners have accumulated a business that happened to us. Our businesses end up looking really different than we thought they would. It's not one we intentionally built. It's not a failure. It's how almost all of us start. But at some point, intentionally editing is what takes us from accumulated business to a strategic business. I went through it too. I remember being at a point in social media management world when I had created my Reels course, and everyone was telling me that I had to do another Reels related course, and they told me I should create a group program. When I did, because so many people were telling me that was the next step, I didn't want to, but people were saying that was the next step, and all these people wanted it, and I'm going to join this program, and that would be the great next step. I didn't want to create it, but I did because that's where the demand was. And when I created it, no one joined it. It wasn't what I wanted to do. That was not the intention that I wanted. So I scrapped the whole thing. I was like, that's it. We're not doing it. It's not what I want. This add more trap shows up in very specific and painful ways when service businesses and service providers start exploring digital products. I'm going to be very direct about it because I think a lot of people are living in this spiral when we talk about digital products. The benefits of digital products are very real. So I'm not calling BS on the benefits because those are very real. And if you've hung out with me long enough, you will hear all the benefits of digital products. If you've listened to the show long enough, you're going to hear the benefits of digital products. You are going to expand your reach, increase your brand visibility. You're going to free up your time. You've heard it all before. Bring in income that isn't directly tied to your time and your hours. You can only take on so many clients in a day. You only have so much time in your day. That is your ceiling. Your time has a ceiling. We know all that about digital products. But here's the part where people get stuck. You can only take on so many clients. You are going to max out on clients eventually. We default to clients. We always do. But you are going to max out on clients. The only way that you can scale a service-based business is to have multiple streams of income and multiple ways for people to access your expertise. Digital products are one of those ways. You cannot take on more clients. You can raise your prices, but you cannot take on more clients because you only have so much time in your day. So one of the ways that you can scale your business, it doesn't matter how you want your business to look. It doesn't matter what size your business is. If you want to keep your business the way it is right now today, and you are happy with the number of clients you have, you are happy with the way it looks, but you want to scale your business and make more money, bring in more revenue, digital products are the way that you're going to do that. That goal is completely legitimate. But when you start looking into it and you think, okay, I want to start building digital products, the internet is going to give you 1,000 options. Mini course, ebook, template pack, membership, workshop series, masterclass, resource library, on and on and on and on. And then you're going to look at it and turn off your computer and walk away, and you're going to say that's for another day. So you start mapping out ideas. Maybe you picked an idea. You start thinking about it, you walked away, you start going to your AI tool, you start mapping things out. Maybe you picked an idea like a mini course because that's what everybody seems to be doing. You start planning it. Maybe you even start building something. You buy the platform, you use your website, you record a module or two. You tell yourself this is the thing that's finally going to get you off the hamster wheel of client work. And then life happens. A client needs something. A project runs long. You sit down to work on it and you just don't know where to start anymore. The content feels overwhelming. You don't know what to include. The tech feels overwhelming. You're not sure if anyone will actually buy it. Is your idea good enough? So you stop. You put it on the back burner. You tell yourself you'll come back to it when things slow down. And things never slow down. It's not a discipline problem. It's not a motivation problem. It's not because you don't have the information. It's a strategy problem. It's a missing strategy problem. Because the question nobody is helping you answer before you pick a platform or outline a module or pick what digital product you're going to do is what should actually be a digital product and what should be taught live. Not everything you know belongs in a digital product. Not everything that belongs in a digital product should be your first one. And not every piece of content you create needs to be a standalone product. That distinction is what separates a digital product strategy that works from one that just adds to your overwhelm. I'm not trying to add to your overwhelm. I'm trying to help you create a digital product strategy versus just creating a random digital product that you decided to create one day when you went on the internet and came up with an idea. There's a lot more that goes into creating a digital product. There's an instructional design strategy, a digital product strategy. When you're editing your business and putting that into practice, it starts with a few questions most business owners never sit down to ask. You have to ask yourself, does this offer still serve the clients I want to work with? Or am I keeping it because I put time into building it? That's a hard question for a lot of people to answer. You have to ask yourself, do these offers compete with each other? Or does each one have a clear and distinct role in my business? Is this something that should become a resource instead of a service? Am I delivering this live because it belongs live or because I never built the asset? What am I explaining over and over? I say this every week. Why doesn't this exist somewhere in my business yet? You don't have to explain things over and over again. You shouldn't be. That's the most important thing for digital products. Every time you explain the same thing to a different client in an email, in onboarding, or on a call, that's a sign. That piece of knowledge is clearly in demand, clearly useful, and clearly bottlenecked inside your own delivery. That's the raw material of a digital asset. It doesn't have to start as a major digital product. It might start as a guide, a checklist, a short walkthrough, a template with instructions. What I consider knowledge assets are usually the foundation of every digital product that's worth building. There is a strategy behind this. When you start keeping track or noticing or documenting what you repeat, you're not just saving time. You are building infrastructure. You're creating something that can exist outside your brain, something that can be accessed, referenced, bundled, and eventually sold without you having to show up every single time. That's what a digital learning suite actually is. Not a collection of things you added randomly. It is an organized system of knowledge assets that has a job. Some of them support your services. Some prepare clients before they work with you. Some will extend your reach to people who will never hire you one-on-one, but they all have a job. You may be one of those people who listens to this episode and you may think, this sounds really good. I'll get to it someday. You may have said that to yourself already. I'm going to do this someday. I know digital products someday. Someday is where good ideas go to die. Here's what I see when a service business never builds digital assets and never edits its offers. Every client engagement requires you to show up fully. Every piece of value you deliver leaves with a client and lives nowhere in your business. Every new client starts from zero because there's nothing to hand them, nothing to orient them, nothing that does any of the pre-work before you arrive. Maybe there's some onboarding, but that's it. The result isn't just lost income potential. It's exhaustion. Your exhaustion. It's rebuilding from scratch over and over. It's a ceiling where growth just means more of you and your time. And there's only so much more of you to give. When you never build digital products specifically, you leave reach on the table that you'll never get back. There are people who will never hire you one-on-one, not because they don't want to. We all know this. There are people who are never going to hire us one-on-one. It has nothing to do with the fact that they don't want us, but because of budget or timing or geography. Those people could have found you through a lower ticket product. They could have become part of your ecosystem, shared your work, and moved into higher tier offers over time. Instead, they never find you. Or they find you, see nothing they can access, and move on. Not building is not neutral. Not editing is not neutral. Both have costs. They're just invisible ones. You're not losing what you have. You're just failing to gain what's possible. That's exactly why it's so easy to keep putting it off. This is one of the main reasons why I created the Digital Product Infrastructure Audit, because business owners are almost always too close to their own businesses to see what needs editing. I'm guilty of it too. We look at the effort behind every offer we've created. We remember our launches. We remember the time it took to build them. And that emotional weight makes it hard to evaluate anything clearly. Strategy requires distance. The audit looks at your business like a system. We look at what role each offer actually plays, where there are overlaps, where things are competing with each other instead of complementing each other, and where knowledge should become a digital resource instead of a delivered service. The goal is not to strip your business down or start over. The whole point of it is to help you see where it can become simpler and stronger. It looks at what you have going on in your business right now to see what we can work with. We're not looking to build or add, we're looking to edit. It doesn't make your business smaller, it makes it clearer. Clearer is almost always more profitable. The goal is always to be intentional about what you're building. The internet will tell you to add more, do more. You aren't doing enough. But it will rarely tell you to edit. Editing is what turns a collection of offers into a strategy. You have everything you need sitting inside your business already. You don't need to add offers or create a quick tutorial for a client. Sometimes the most profitable move you can make isn't building anything new. It's deciding what no longer belongs. I'll see you next time. Have a great week. If this episode hit home, your next step isn't to build anything. It's to audit what you already have. I offer a paid infrastructure audit where I review your current offers, delivery load, and where your business is relying too heavily on you. You'll get a clear decision doc and a Loom walkthrough outlining what actually makes sense next. The link is in the show notes.